The Super Mario RPG remake, is it worth it? For somebody that's played the original, I can safely say that it is definitely worth it. If you have not played the original, though, I could definitely see somebody wanting to wait on the $60 price tag. But let me go over the game as someone who was a huge fan of it back in the day and someone that's played it many, 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 many times. In this video, I'm also not going to be talking about any major spoilers. I want people to be able to play this fresh, but there are a few things I'm going to talk about where if I was going to buy the game, I would want to know this anyway. And it's stuff that I don't really think is that crazy of a secret. But if you want no chance of a spoiler at all, then I would just click off the video because I am going to talk about stuff that was shown off in the direct and then one other thing that was found out before the game came out. But in terms of like total surprises, I'm not going to talk about anything at all. All I will say is if you have played the original, this is like a must-have, honestly, because of the stuff that's in it. So let me go over some of the stuff, like some of the concerns that I think even I might have had when I first saw this is the splash damage thing. To me, it ended up being totally fine. I at first it was people were talking about how maybe it would make it easier and stuff like that. I felt the game was just a ton of fun. I didn't really feel like the splash damage thing ruined anything when it comes to the like team attack stuff. Didn't ruin anything for me. And there is actually another change in the combat that I'm not going to talk about. That I would want to be a secret for those trying out the game. But it is different than the original. And at first I didn't use it at all. And then I started to towards the end. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's really neat. It honestly, the coolest part to me about this remake is that not only is it just a remake, but when you play it, it brought me back to that time when I played it as a kid. But because of the cutscenes and how the remake is done, it allowed me to have a new experience as if I was playing it younger. It brought me back and also introduced a new experience. It was so cool. And the cutscenes are honestly, it's worth it. If you played the original, the cutscenes are worth it alone for the remake. I know you can just go to YouTube and watch them, but to play the game and experience them as they're shown off, it was just so good. Like that feeling that I had playing it, I just can't believe they nailed it. They not that I doubted them, but like I just didn't think that I could feel that again playing a remake. I just didn't think it would happen, but it did, and super, super impressed. I think that this remake is spot on. Spot on. There is an option that I do want to talk about where I think some people might ridicule me for, but I'm glad it's there. I don't even know if I'll end up using it because I might just leave it the way it is, but the music, it's not that it's bad, and it could be that just because I played the original so much, I think I prefer the original music over the music that they made for this game. And what's cool is there's an option to just change it back to the original. Like I said, I might just leave it just for the experience, or maybe I'll play through it again and change it just to see how that experience is. But the music's not bad. It's not like I listened to it and I was like, oh, this is kind of bad. It's just that I think I'm just so used to the old one that the graphics change was nice, but I just personally didn't need the music to change. Like, I mean, I'm glad they did it because it would have been weird if they just kept it all the same. But the fact that the fact that the option's there, I think that's awesome. So I can just choose if I want to use or listen to the newer music or the original. My only gripe, and this is something that I have for like all newer games, this could be considered a spoiler because I'm going to give away something that's not there, but I don't think it's anything that anyone expected anyway, but just in case, if you want to click off, you can. But there's no hard mode, and it just kind of bums me out because I think for an RPG, it would be harder because like you'd have to really make sure everything's balanced, but it's a complaint I even had for Mario Wonder. Mario Wonder was amazing, but there was no hard mode, and I feel like for at least Wonder, you just make it so it's like, maybe one hit is death, or just no checkpoints, or both, just something like that. To have nothing, like at least with Mario RPG, you could argue that there's like balancing and stuff, and it would take a lot more effort to put a hard mode in, but I just like having an excuse to play a game again. And so to not have that there, it's kind of a bummer. But at least with Mario RPG, if you want to experience the game, trying out like different leveling systems or using different party members, that's all there. So I think I will replay it again and try it with the original music and have like different party members that I didn't really use too much in my playthrough, because I usually almost always use Bowser and Geno. But maybe I'll use Mallow and Peach. But yeah, this remake is so good. Like I said, the only thing that I could see is I could see people who have not played the original waiting on that $60 price tag to go down, because that is kind of expensive for, in my opinion, the duration of the game. But if you've played the original, like, this is a must-have and must-play. Like, I cannot emphasize that enough. And I don't want you guys to get spoiled. There was something where I saw a thumbnail where I wasn't too sure what I was looking at, but I was like pretty sure. Luckily, it didn't really ruin anything for me. It just kind of added a little bit of mystery for me, but definitely play this sooner rather than later, because I just don't want you guys to get spoiled. This game, for anyone that's played the original, the fact that I was able to have these new experiences with this old game was amazing. I really just like, I want every old school fan to play this. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Mario RPG remake. I thought it was phenomenal. I really can't believe it got me to have like, it like brought me back and gave me new experiences. That it was just so cool. Those cutscenes were done so well, and the changes they made just made the game fresh. Like it gave me a fresh playthrough. Like, yeah, the story's the same and stuff like that, but my playthrough just felt fun. It didn't, which, like, I played the original and I played again and again, and it's fun, but it didn't feel like, oh, they just kind of, they used a paint brush. They just used a paintbrush and just changed the graphics. Like, they went through and changed how the game is played, and not to the point where it's like, what is this? But to the point where it's fresh. They nailed it. And man, if you would have told kid me, as graphics were changing, like, oh yeah, this will get remastered, I would have never believed that. So this was an amazing experience. I really can't recommend the game enough. I want everyone that's played the old one to play this, and my goodness, I'm just gonna say it. I hope that this is the final nail that needed to be hammered in that will get Geno in Smash, because if he doesn't get in the next one, I believe he has no chance. But maybe this is the start of something totally new, and we get another Mario RPG and Geno in Smash, because maybe Geno's in that Mario RPG. So I don't know. All I know is that at the very least, we got something that I never thought that we would get, and they freaking nailed it. So I will see you all in the next one. If you have played this, the remake, definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm very curious to hear what other fans thought. And if you've never played it before and you just started with the remake, curious what your thoughts are too. It's not that I don't want to hear those thoughts. It's just very curious if people who played the original had that same experience that I did of like, wow, this is bringing me back, but this is like a new experience with these cutscenes and stuff. So that's enough of me nerding out. I will catch you all in the next one. Take care.